Hey guys, how's it going? We're going to do something that we haven't done in eons, it feels like at this point. I'm going to go and buy some video games at a brick and mortar physical store location. And hey, I got the Sonic the Hedgehog shirt on for the occasion. And I was just wondering if you wanted to take a ride with me. Hey, let's go. Oh gosh, so yeah, I did it. I actually broke down and did it. I did a video the other day just talking about how, well, this and that. Jesus, hopefully that's not a problem. We'll see if these even work or if they're broken. Quality control. Anyway, I did a video talking about how, I don't know, I suppose you guys have already known by now I've been interested in these, and I thought I would, I don't know, take the plunge and we'll see. Maybe a mistake, I don't know, I hope not. As long as they work and they're fun, that's all I care about. But so there it is. This Pac-Man Galaga 40th anniversary class of 1981. As I was talking about in a video recently, I always wanted to pick up the actual cab when it came out. They're too expensive now, and mostly they've all been restored with LCD monitors anyway, and people are still charging $3,000 plus, for $350. What was it? Something like that. Why not just pick up this instead? You're still getting the same LCD monitor. I don't know, it's a deluxe version, so it's all built in, no little riser. I've heard that the controls are a little bit better with these. We'll see. I think it'll look awesome in the game room though, with the light up marquee. So I like to do things in an organized fashion. So I have the one wall of 8 31 kilohertz VGA CRTs with arcade super guns and consoles and MAME, all kinds of stuff. Then the other wall is going to be the 215 kilohertz 27-inch Trinitrons, one in Tate, one in Yoko, and then the Neo 29, the Super Neo 29, and the Capcom Mini Cute. So that'll be the wall of 15 kilohertz. And since these are so small, on the wall kind of perpendicular to both of those, where those run parallel, this one will be the other wall joining it when you come in. I'll have enough space to put this next to something else, which I'll show you, and that will be the arcade one-up, I guess, modern, incarnations of these home arcade systems with LCD monitors. This was a bit of a task. Really, I'm more excited about this. I think it's the 2021, so shoot, probably gonna have to do, I guess they don't come pre-packaged with the firmware already installed and ready to go when you open it, but it's the Attack from Mars with all of the Williams classic tables on there, like Medieval Madness, and that should be really awesome. It's like a small little pinball cab. I think they look really cool. I always wanted to, I've been eyeing one of these for a while. I don't know, I had to move my seat back, barely got this thing in here. Reminds me, a few years back, several years back, purchased a Philips big screen, or it was an LCD, LED back then, before QLEDs and OLEDs, and it wouldn't fit in this very car. I tried to get it in, I think it was this car, but we tried to get it in and jammed it in, which was not advisable in retrospect. And when we went to open it up and set it up, the screen was all smashed. So it wasn't that funny at the time, kind of. I guess it's more humorous now to look back on. The guy just helped me put this in here, and it was a tight fit, the entryway. Hope no problems there. I don't think so. It went in pretty easily, but Jesus, this is going to be hard for me to get out. I live alone, so I don't know how I'm going to get this out. There you go. Now we have a wall of these, just these two. They're only 22 inches in width. They're both 60 inches tall, and the light up marquees and everything. I think it will be cool. And I like that uniformity, as I was saying, with the CRT walls of the different scan rates. And then I'll have an LCD one too. And, all arcade, all CRT-cade, even with LCDs. So, alright, talk to you later. Okay, so,
they're just oddly massive and bulky in the weight distribution with all these objects in this box. It's really awkward, and I'm gonna tell you, these are not your conventional stairs. It is a little bit more difficult to do absolutely anything with them, but I'm getting there. Okay. So I was able to get the Pac-Man Galaga one down those stairs. I mean, it's heavy, not heavy, but just the shape, it's real difficult to get a grip on it. I don't even know how I got this in the car today when they wheeled it out. You know, I had the person from Best Buy get on one end of it. I don't know how. Looking at it so many hours later, not even sure how we managed to get it in here. Move my seat way up. I got no choice here, man. This thing is heavy and bulky, and I can't even get it out of the car, so I'm gonna have to use my old trusty Cobalt box cutter and like just open it, take it out piece by piece. Has anyone else had to do that, or am I the only one? Oh, okay, this is literally a nightmare. I'm not even sure how we got this in here. I could not by myself get it out. So it's always kind of hitting the edge. I have no clue how we got that in there. Me and Best Buy shopkeep boy. It looks beautiful, but I don't know. I hope I don't destroy it getting it out. This is crazy. I'm gonna have to take it out piece by piece. There's a closure. Holy shit, what a nightmare. That's a workout. Oh my gosh. That wasn't fun. Very unconventional way, perhaps, to do this, but I mean, you do whatever you can. Here's the hardware. I hope it's all right. Interesting first experience with that. What's up? It's a day later, and we're gonna go down and build that thing now. Shaved. No longer Jerry Garcia CRTK'd. Dave CRTK'd. A whole new person. Please, we got a bag of pots. Get this going on. Watching homeboy here put it together. I don't know, it's easier when you see someone doing it. Those C-screws were really hard to get in, actually. Require a bit of torquing. Okay. Video games. This is awesome. This is pretty amazing. Jesus. I'm telling you what, this is a nightmare. Anyone who's tried to build one of these, I'm not enjoying this at all. Oh my God. I just want this to be done with. Much harder than that. My God, a literal effing nightmare. I don't know. I thought this was incredibly unintuitive. And just the dowels. Oh, you have to screw around with this thing and basically sit on it. Just push all around it. 99 times, maybe the 100th, you'll get everything in there and just screw it all in place.
I still don't know. So
I can't tell you how many times it's fallen apart during this process. Cracked 100,000 on Galaga. Pretty good run, man. Stage 18, 17, what was it? I love this cabinet, I gotta tell you. This thing plays pretty darn amazingly, and it's gorgeous. You know, always wanted a class of 81. Such a cheap way to do it. You know, I said a few things about the cabinet criticizing it. It's one of those things where until you have your hands on the exact one and give it a spin, a test drive, you really don't know. And I'll eat my words. I know I sound like a hypocrite, but we all say things, make assumptions, and sometimes you really have to try it out to understand what it is that you're talking about. But I'm looking at it, you know, it is quite nice in terms of being a replica. The artwork is beautiful. I love the little caps that they put in this to kind of, some of the other ones you would just have the screws exposed. But, I mean, yeah, you know, the original would have had like the 20-year anniversary when it came out, class of 1981, but gosh, the light up marquee is awesome. The screen is really pretty superb, I gotta say. I'm not too bothered by the fact that there isn't a scanline option. You just kind of adjust to it. It's bright, vivid. Yeah, the sprites look chunky and nice, actually. For old school 80s games, it's not as big of a deal. With your 1990s more detailed, animated, hand-drawn sprite art, that makes a difference, and scan lines are a requirement. Of course, I would like to have them here. A CRT monitor is preferable, but and you know, being that obviously with a particle board cabinet, it's pretty sturdy, by the way, I must say. I mean, obviously, you can't put a CRT in one of these things, and there's nowhere to source them in 2023. But yeah, I would have preferred that they had a nice scanline filter in there. They did not include one, but I mean, it doesn't bother me actually in this case. Really, the 4-way joystick it's pretty nice. It works very well. The quality, I would say, is very good. It's decent. It doesn't bother me at all. And yeah, it's just playing Galaga on this machine is just so freaking cool. I don't know what to say. Just getting into that with that cracking 100,000 there. That was a blast. That's so much fun. And you know, the Attack from Mars virtual pinball table, it's awesome too. I'm really quite thrilled with both of them. They look gorgeous and they play really nicely. So at this price point, this is a must-have. You get 10 awesome Bally Williams tables on. Fantastic. I mean, the illusion is great. As you can see, I think you'd be pretty pleased with it. Medieval Madness and Attack from Mars. They're such good tables. And you know, you've got 10 great ones on here. I'm really, the puncher's cool. The solenoids, the feel of it, the sound. Absolutely would recommend this. It's awesome, and this as well. So yeah, I was Arcade 1-Up's biggest critic for a long time. And you know, as I've said in the past, I did demo the Street Fighter 2, the first cabinet at Fry's like 5 years ago when it came out, and it didn't, you know, it was awful. The scaling was terrible, no scanline filter. For a game like that, it's necessary. The controls were cheap and unresponsive. But this is not the case with this. This looks awesome for these old school 80s games. The cabinet is a really nice, I mean, when you're playing on this, it doesn't feel any different than playing on the original class of 1981. Really, for the most part, I like the small size and form factor of it too. And you know, I've played the actual cabinet in arcades over the past couple of decades so many times. I think I've got videos up on my channel of me playing it at several different arcades even. But gosh, the artwork, it's amazing. I'm really excited. This is so cool to have in my arcade room with everything else. And get the Japanese candy cabinet here to finish everything off. I'm thrilled about it. I'm really quite impressed. I've never really taken virtual pinball for a spin. I love this. This is awesome. I'm a big pinball fan, and I'm not going to spend the amount of money required. And like I was saying with it, for a real table, this is so cheap, comparatively speaking. Yeah, it's not an actual pinball table, but damn, pretty close. I mean, and I like the small scale as well. I can actually fit it in here and still have room to play my other setups. And it's great. I'm quite chuffed, man. You can tell I'm excited. I'm thrilled. It wasn't too bad to build. This was a nightmare to build, I thought. My first experience with building one of these, that took me a long time, and it was a little frustrating. Really, if you had two people kind of holding the dowels, and there's some really tricky, cumbersome areas, and some of those little C-screws, screwing those in, really a power drill would help. I didn't have mine charged when I was real focused on building it, so I just struggled with it and got it all done. And I'm just so thrilled. Geez, this is like $350, and this is like $600, and I had a bunch of company Amex gift cards that I actually forgot about. I've been sitting around for years, and they were nearly expired. I gotta use these this week, and this is what I used them on, and oh my god, so this basically cost me nothing for these two awesome arcade machines, and I am having so much fun with them. That's the point of video games. They look awesome, they play great. I'm thrilled with this, so I gotta give Arcade 1UP some credit. I'm pretty exacting taste. I'm the hardcore, old school, real PCBs, accurate ports from consoles, CRT monitors, Sanwa Mitsu, all high-grade Japanese parts, all of it. So if I'm thrilled with these, you'd probably be too, I think. And there's something, as much as I love Japanese candy cabinets, there's nothing like the old school American woodies like this, and these smaller scale replicas, amazing. I'm just so thrilled with this. So, big time credit to Arcade 1UP, I guess. Holy shit, never thought I'd say something like that, but I'm a straight shooter. I'm not a liar, I'm honest, and I'll eat crow and digest my words when they come out incorrectly. I love these, so I was wrong. Now, with most cap, I did play the Mortal Kombat one. It was at Best Buy too, and for games like that, the controls didn't feel great to me, and of course the visuals looked awful, I thought. So bear in mind, take with a grain of salt everything I'm saying. There's certain games that work well, and definitely Class of 81, the cabinet's beautiful, feels sturdy, the stick is nice, and I'm saying, it's a really good LCD monitor in my opinion, and for the list of games on here, even Mr. Scanline himself, it doesn't bother me. I think these games don't suffer from not having them too much. Totally different story if you're talking about like the beautiful Capcom, Konami, Taito, all of that stuff. Hand-drawn sprite, artwork, type of arcade games from the 90s that you really can't play them without CRT and scanlines. This is a different scenario, right? I'm so thrilled about this. And with a virtual pinball table, obviously that doesn't come into play. Now this is it's a 1080p screen that's pumping out 720p. So I know some people took issue with that. I think the At Games one is true 1080p and looks a little bit better, and it's a little larger. So there's positives and negatives to that. Because I like this because it doesn't take up much space, and I think it looks amazing. I mean, check it out. What do you think? It feels and plays great as well. I love the screen up here. It's awesome, baby. It's light up marquee. I'm giddy. Hey, it's like not every day that you get excited. I was worried about this one. Oh, am I really doing this? Am I buying these? It didn't cost me anything for the gift card. see Arcade 1-Up. I don't know, there's like a heavy endorsement of their products. Like I'm saying, just with these two, it's not like I would buy probably some of the other ones, but there's certain ones, like Dragon's Lair, I think is another one, doesn't really require scan lines, or it's not like you need competition, say Mitsu, high grade quality, it's just, you know, it requires a lot less. I think that one would be amazing to have as well. I'm probably gonna get it. I don't know. Sorry, I love this. So, all right, guys, talk to you later.
How cool is that?
That's amazing. I'm sorry. I cannot lie. This is done so well. This is great. Okay, so here I'm just coming back for a minute to expound upon what I was saying. I'll turn the volume down a little bit. You know, I love that demo music there. So the at games, I'll turn it down on this one too. Flipping and flipping. The speakers, the volume control, it's awesome. Pumping out fantastic sound, both of them. Wow, I'm so impressed. I never thought I would say such a thing. I'm not a liar, you know, in anything about anything in life. I tell you the truth. So that's a virtue that, you know, people should have. But so the at games pinball, one of the things I took issue with in kind of doing some research and looking at it, I really didn't like the artwork, the graphics on it. You know, the old haunted house pinball table, which is an awesome one, it kind of had the side art up here from it, which looked accurate. And sort of like on the sides down here and at the front, and on the other side, kind of like a hodgepodge kind of collage of different artwork from some classic tables, which is cool. But I mean, this is supposed to look exactly like what the Attack from Mars, actual Williams Valley, a pinball table looked like back in the day in the 90s. So this is a collection of 90s tables on here, 10 of them, and they're all great. So yeah, it looks much more authentic, and I do like the smaller size. The At Games Legends pinball table, from what I know, does have, there's some cool things like the Taito packs. So there's like a Darius table, Bubble Bobble, Rainbow Islands, that type of thing, which of course is right up my alley, being a big fan of Japanese games. But I mean, they're not actual tables, and I've heard, you know, they're just these little recreations. So I've heard from people that some people weren't too jazzed about them, and I can understand why that might be. These are actual, you know, virtualizations of real pinball tables, classic American tables, which obviously are the best ones. So that's fantastic. I would recommend this. You can't go wrong with this. Arcade 1-Up did a Star Wars and Marvel as well, but those are kind of hokey in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say that, but I mean, it's not the authentic. They're not real tables, so it's not based upon anything. It's just some made-up thing. This is, you get the actual Attack from Mars table on a small scale with 10 real Williams tables. So that is, you cannot beat that. And again, this is a little bit more expensive because it's got some chrome and it's heavier. There's a lot that's gone into this, that screen as well. Gosh, some beautiful light up marquee. So you can understand why. It's not perfect, you know, nothing is, but I think it's pretty darn near close to it for what I am, you know, desiring. I love it. And kind of like the extra, you can turn on some extra graphics. Some of the tables really shine with that. It's fantastic, man. Pinball, discount pinball, unbelievable. I'm so stoked, very chuffed about this. And what I was saying about this one is, you know, for years I wanted a cocktail, and when they came out, or just the stand-up, and there was a smaller cabaret version, the stand-up one was huge, and even the cabaret is like bigger than this. So yeah, I kind of have to say I prefer that went this route. I mean, my wallet didn't take a hit at all because I used those cards, but the gift cards. But I mean, for like $350, $399, I think it is. Oh my gosh, I would not recommend. So okay, let me slow down here. I'm excited. So the class of 81 cabinets nowadays, the CRT monitors they're janked, they're wrapped. So most of them have been replaced with LCDs, and arcade dealers are still charging you. They're charging even more than the originals that had CRT monitors for like $2,000 when those came out 20 odd years ago. Sometimes they're charging like $2,500, $3,000 for that shell with an LCD put in there. I'm like, what? Absurdity, ridiculousness. No, okay? So you're getting it, you're making the concession of having an LCD monitor and this anyway, like you would be with one of those overpriced things. This is the way to go. It plays super fantastic. It's fantastically, it's amazing. You get 12 classic Namco games on here. I mean, some of the choices are odd. Like for instance, Rolling Thunder, not a game that works super great with this stick, and not a vertical monitor game. But really, I mean, this Pac-Man plays amazing on here, I think. And you get the first two Dig Dugs, and you get Galaga, Galaxian, Galaga 88. Mappy, so it's just, I love this. This is great. Check out the reproduction kind of artwork and everything. Damn, they nailed this. This is damn near perfect in my opinion. I really, really enjoy this. So I guess that's about it that I wanted to talk about with these. But super cool, man. I'm thrilled. Sorry, Arcade 1Up, I criticized you. And some of that criticism, bear in mind, is valid for other things that they've done and are still doing, but not with these two. These are great. And as I've said already, I think the Dragon's Lair, since basically, the cabinet back, and I had a chance to play that one again, so fun at that Myrtle Beach Warp Zone or Player's Choice arcade at the Myrtle Beach Mall there. Several times when I've been there on vacation. So cool to play that again. But the Arcade 1Up is a small scale form factor replica of that machine. And since that was running on whatever that weird hardware was with the DVD or laser disc from back in the day, it's super ahead of its time. It's running in 480i anyway, the original machine, the visual, so it's not something that you would get scan lines on. And those monitors, a lot of them are like janked and washed out and really clouded up. So I think the LCD would be a benefit for a game like that is not one that needs to be 240p or a 240p sort of replica recreation with some fancy artificial scanline tricks. Anyway, I digress. We'll go way off topic. But I think the Dragon's Lair cabinet is perfect for this type of application. And I think I'm gonna get it. I've got space for one more. So, all right, man. This is so cool. I'm loving this. And I shall speak with you soon. Take care.